Hello and welcome again to this lecture series. In last lecture, we just have covered up the function. Now, in this video lecture, we are going to demonstrate that how you're going to tackle whether parameters or arguments. Before that, so the advantages of the functions are that, when you have a bunch of code and you want that code uh, multiple times in your program. So either first approach is that you are going to put that code in a one place and then copy it and place it whenever uh, you need that code. And another method is that our function method. You have created a bunch of code, put it inside the block, and that block you are making that block under some function, and whenever you require you just need a one line, means you need to just call that function. That's what we have implemented in our last program. And the number of statements, you can put as much number of statements according to your logic. And another main example is that you can call that function multiple times. Look here, I have called that function 3 times in my main program. Now whenever I'm going to execute, now that function is called 3 number of times. So let me put endl so that my mm, statement would be in the next line, endl end line. So I have called this function 3 times, so that's why each and every time my control flows to this 15th line whenever 8th line is encountered. Similarly, when ninth line is encountered, again it's a function call, it's again transfer my control to this, and all the statements are executed and then return back to the line number 9. Now as it is void, there is nothing returning any value. Okay, now let's introduce the concept of argument. So argument is act as an input to your function. Now let's suppose I want to uh, I'm going to declare a character variable char c, and let's suppose I'm initializing this c with some character variable over here like star. This is the one way, okay, and I'm going to put a c over here, means I just input a character variable to this function. Now here is a calling of a function. Whenever I'm going to execute this, I will have an error. Let's compile our program. It says it too many argument to the function. So as per the declaration or the definition, there is no argument, but in a function call, I put a one argument, means one input. So I have to either I have to delete this C, or I have to modify the function declaration and definition part. Okay, now here I'm going to write char. So now here I'm stating in a declaration that my function is going to take one character as an input. So here I have to modify that thing again. Char x, you have to declare some variable here. Now this variable is known as formal argument, as it is not the actual value, whereas C is containing the actual or direct value. Okay, now here let me print something over here, that is x. At the last I'm going to print the character x. So here basically I'm inputting one character into the function, and this is your actual argument calling with argument actual, and here definition with formal argument. Now let's execute this program, and here this is stuff inside a function, and here is a star. Now look, whenever you are calling a function with some argument, those arguments values are actually copied to the x or whatever the argument you're specifying over here. Now let's take some numerical example over here. Let's suppose instead of this, you can pass directly some value over here. Instead of a c, uh, let's declare with some integer int I, and here I'm passing a I. Let's initialize I to 10. Now I have to modify the type in the declaration and the definition part. Instead of a string, I just want to display the value of x. So now if I'm going to run this code, okay, so here I'm calling this function with the I value is having a 10, and that's going to print 10. So now I can modify even the value of x over here. Now let's suppose here I'm modifying x is equal to 600. Now what will happen in this case? Now here the value of x before this assignment statement is a 10. Now I have updated the value of x, and now it is going to give me the output 600. Let's compile this step by step. I'm going to put this in a comment section. Now if I'm going to compile this, I'm having a 10 because value of I is copied to the x. The actual argument is copied to the formal argument. So now I can modify the value of a formal argument. Here you can see that updated value is 600. So now remember, here the value of x is changed, not a I. So to prove my point, I'm going to write cout value of I equals to I. So now we can observe that we are having an output 600 because of this function cout, and but here in a main actual the cout is printing the value of I, which is 10. So now that was about the parameters. Now there is no fixed limit on the parameters. You can increase the parameters according to your logic. So let's take a 3 parameters. I have to put the 3 parameters. Instead of this variable, you can directly give some values like 12. Okay, I can use a mixture of both I, 20 and 30. I'm making this as a comment. I no longer need this statement. Okay, so here value of I is copied to the x, y will have 20 and z will have a 30. Okay, now here let's suppose I want to print a sum. So it's good that if you are using your function name relevant to your logic, so instead of fn you can use here our fn name as a sum. But remember that 4 identifier rules to name your function. Okay, here I'm going to write cout x plus y plus c. Fine. Okay, now let's compile and execute a program. You can see the sum total of 10, 20 and 30 is 60, and that is on my screen over here. So with a function you can do a lot more stuff. Okay, in the next video we are going to look at the return type of a function. Okay, keep tuned and subscribe to this channel for a more related videos. Thanks for watching.